Yeah, I guess we'll just move it right there. Move some of this other stuff out of the way here. Am I recording? Oh, shoot. I am recording. Hey, guys. Hey, this is Mad Hatter here. Sorry about that. I didn't think I was recording. But anyway, um, before we get into it, because I got um, quite a lot of stuff that I want to go over with and like that. So, um, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you would, please. Um, give me a like if you would. Leave a comment. Tell me how I'm doing. If I'm doing okay or if I can improve on some stuff. I know I can, but um, I'm working with what I have right now. Leave a comment and ring my bell, because you want to be, updated on uh, future videos that I do on this series. That'll keep you informed when I, upload one and you can watch it. So go ahead and hit that bell. But anyway, what I'm going to go over with you today is um, pretty much the finish of my pickguard. So I worked on it some more today and dirtied up the holes and um, took the shine pretty much completely off of the pickguard. And I'll show you what I used on that to take the shine off and really dull it up and scratch it up and stuff. So here is the pick guard itself. If you can tell. Let me turn the light. Maybe that'll work. So as you can tell, or try to tell by the video here, that I really dulled it up. There, you can see it a little bit better there. I really dulled it up. Angle it. There we are. And as you can tell from yesterday when I uploaded that video, it's pretty much, let's see what happens when I do this. Oh, that's worse. Okay, but it's pretty well dulled up and the shine is off of it. Maybe that'll work. Darn it. But anyway, the shine is off of it. I will upload some pictures. I'll take some pictures with um my iPhone so you can get a clearer view of what I'm holding here. But anyway, I did that, and what I did to do that, what I did to get the look of the pickguard that I wanted, I used a piece of 400 grain sandpaper. And I went back and forth on the surface of the pickguard one way. And then I went back and did it the opposite way. So I was making like an X pattern over the surface of the pickguard. And then I just kind of scrubbed in a circular motion over that. And when I was done with that, I just kind of wiped off some of the leftover bits and pieces on there. And I took quad zero steel wool and scrubbed the hell out of the pickguard. Um, to get a really dulled and used and pretty much aged look. The holes, or the back of the shielding, the sticky area in the holes, what I did to accomplish that look, because it's a dark look, kind of rusty, kind of like a rusty brown on the inside from dirt and probably water getting on it, and of course cigarette ashes that I borrowed, or not really borrowed, that I got from a friend, and he let me have the cigarette ashes. And what I also did was to darken that up, I used my good old friend liquid stain, the the vintage amber, and I put just a small drop in each one of these holes here, and not even a drop. I had to use like leftovers that were on the nozzle that I gotta wipe off, yeah. But I used leftovers that dripped down the nozzle in some of the smaller holes, and I kind of stirred it around with it's like a skewer toothpick, and I just stirred it around. As you can see by my fingertips, they're dirtied from the um working on the holes there. So, but then I just tapped the cigarette ashes and whatnot all together there in the holes that you can barely see. I'm sorry. Those holes, there we go. These holes right here, and I just tapped down on all that to get it worked in all the holes around where the switch would go, these three holes right here, you know, and then in the slot where the switch would come through. So I worked all that all together. And then yeah, that was pretty much. Oh, I also took, because I didn't know how else to do it, and I already had the shielding put on the back. Is I um, traced around one of the knobs, the tone knobs there, and on a piece of 220 sandpaper, and I glued it because I didn't know how else to do it with uh, the shielding on there already. So I glued it to the bottom of the knob. But before I did that, I drilled a hole on the top of the kind of, it's kind of a screwed up hole, but it was a hole enough for me to see through. And I had that sandpaper that was glued on the bottom, and I was like, how in the hell am I gonna like just carve a little circle around the holes without rubbing everything. So I had to take my utility knife and trim the middle out. And then so I could center the hole over this hole in the pickguard. I had to take one of the metal pieces that I cut out of one of these holes here, the backing, the shielding, and drop it down into the hole and then use my knob with the hole in it to center it over so I could see that uh, the part of the shielding. So I did that, and what I did was I dropped it down over the top and I twisted the knob back and forth to give me that worn look around the holes. So that worked out pretty good. But this is what it looks like now all together. Oh, I also had to take another sliver out of this part right here because this edge here, let me get my pick here. This edge here is not really perpendicular to this edge here. When I looked at another picture of the pickguard. So I had to kind of angle a cut, do it again, and angle a cut from here and kind of edge it out all the way down to make a straight line. Because I looked at the picture on the mat again, and that edge, this edge here, and this edge here isn't really perpendicular if you look at it. So I had to kind of, I mean, it may look it, but it's not. So I had to kind of edge it down from this corner here and kind of angle it down towards this hole here to get kind of like a straight line. I also did what I forgot to mention here is I took that same 400 sandpaper and I scrubbed this white area all the way around the pick guard. And I just scrubbed the hell out of it, and I took what was left over of the mixture that I had made beforehand. When I sanded this pick guard, it was dull. It was dull, but I wanted to do something to kind of to look a little bit more aged. So this stuff is coming in a lot. It's handy. So I grabbed my liquid stain again. And I took the leftover cigarette ashes that I had in this cup. So I mixed the liquid stain with the cigarette ashes. And I took my brush and I brushed this mixture. I mixed it all up and I brushed this mixture on to the face of the pickguard. And that not only did it age it a little bit more, but also the rings around the holes, it kind of gave them a rusty, worn look because of the color of the liquid stain. So that worked out really good. I mean, I thought I really screwed it up when, I forgot to cut this part out here a little bit more, and the hole in the middle looked like it was the ring around it, because I kind of offset the ring the first time when I tried it. And I was like, oh, that's way off. So I had to move it over a little bit more, and it's got kind of almost, you can almost see a different ring around it. But like I said, I will take pictures of it so you can see this much clearer, um, with without the potentiometer and the tone knob on it, and with the potentiometer and the tone knob on it. So, and the when I really thought I messed it up was when I um, made the holes too dark. I thought, well, maybe that's not supposed to be that dark. But I looked at it and I was like, well, okay, his might not have been that dark, but mine would have been maybe that dark. So, but this is my guitar, building it in tribute to Eddie Van Halen. But this is my guitar. Everybody's doing their version of the Frankenstrat. And that is really cool because everybody around the world, because this is being done around the world, um, they are building their version of the Frankenstrat in tribute of um, Eddie Van Halen. So, this guitar, I mean, it's taken me a while to get to this point. I mean, from um, prepping the body, putting the Z-epoxy on the body, uh, doing that twice because I put the first coat down, turned out really nice, and I knew there was going to be valleys and stuff like that in there, and I have to sand it down as much as you can. Well, not really sand it down. I didn't use that technique. I took a razor blade, and what I did was I um, used that razor blade at a 45-degree angle on the Z epoxy and just shaved the Z epoxy off of the face of the body. And if I had a razor nearby, I would show you the angle that I did it. Hold on for a second. I will get a razor right now. Okay, first of all, when you grab your razor here, you want to have some uh, acetone to clean off the edge of the razor because there is oil on the razor. So you want to have some acetone. You know, you can get a can of acetone at your local Lowe's. And they sell it there, or at your local hardware store probably carries the acetone. Also, but anyway, you want to take your razor blade, you want to clean it off. Just put some acetone on like some paper towel or something like that, and just wipe it off. But you take your razor after you got your coat of uh, whatever you're putting on. Let's say you're putting on the Z epoxy. All right. You want to take your razor and hold it at about a angle like this. If you can see that. Let me tip it like that. You want to hold it at an angle about like that. But you don't want to press down, and then you want to drag across the body of the guitar, not the full length, it's in sections, and shave off those high tips on the Z epoxy. And you want to give a little bit of pressure when you're pulling towards you, and that will be enough to carve those uh, high spots off of the Z epoxy. But you get all that done, and there's a lot of. I got 2 coats of Z epoxy on this, and then after I was done using the razor on it and getting all the high spots off, I sanded the whole thing down with 400 grade sandpaper, so the um, paint will stick to it. So the first layer on this is going to be black. It's going to be darker up here in the black. I'll show you how I'm going to be doing it, but right now I'm just going to go over. It's going to be darker up here in the black as far as, well, not really darker, but thicker. And it's going to be a lighter coats down here on the bottom. But along the sides and along the back, it'll probably be darker because a lot of string changes happened in here. A lot of work was done in here. Okay, there it is. And I'll take pictures of that too um, with my iPhone so you get a clearer picture of what I did. Or not really what I did, but how it turned out. So, that is all I got right now as far as I've this whole time that I've been since the inception of me building this thing, um, I've only got the body done. Well, as far as um, being covered in Z epoxy and prepped for the paint, and my pick guard. That is all. all this other stuff that I've been showing you, it's important stuff, it's little stuff. And this pick guard, I'll even show you. Let me grab my Floyd. This is the Floyd that I got for my Frankenstrat build. Let me put the camera up a little bit more. That's the Floyd. That is the original Floyd. I went to floydrose.com to see if I can get it, and they were out. Everybody was out. And I wanted this. And I was like, where am I going to get it? So it just hit me. I said, well, let's see. Guitar Center. Okay, there's a Guitar Center here. It's a ways from me. It's probably about 50 miles away. But there's a guitar. Well, it's probably about 60 miles away actually. But there's a Guitar Center here. Let me check their site. And lo and behold, they had the original Floyd Rose there. I was like, yo, right. Okay. Take my money. So I got it and had it sent to me. And I fitted this a little while ago. And that's where it occurred to me that this edge wasn't cut. Well, you can't see it now. That this edge wasn't cut right when I put it on earlier today. So let's see if it fits right now. Oh my God. Okay. Oops. Oh, the Floyd moved. But it fits right now. Let me move the camera here. Let me give you more of a bird's eye view. See how the Floyd and that cut um on the pickguard isn't really parallel. So that's what I had to do. I had to make that cut in here not parallel with the edge of the Floyd. So that fits perfect. That is perfect right there. So I'm glad I had the Floyd to test that out. Thanks a lot, Floyd. I mean, Floyd Rose, they build freaking awesome. I mean, I got a Floyd, let's say Eddie Van Halen Floyd Rose on my um, Wolfgang, but Floyd Rose makes awesome products. I tell you that right now. They really do. But this is not going to be as shiny, and I'm going to show you how to do that too in a late and future video. But this is not going to be as shiny as it is right now. It's going to be really dulled. So stay tuned for that one. So that's what I took care of. And that's the pick guard pretty much done. I mean, if I wanted to, I could add a scratch here or there, to give it a little bit more character. But, who's to say? Uh, the only thing that I do see a little odd is that the knob sits a little high on the off of the potentiometer, and I'm going to see what I can do about that, because how do you get wear rings around a potentiometer hole when your tone knob sits that high off of it? But anyway, enough of that. Enough of me. Thank you for watching. You guys have been great. Um, you guys have a safe weekend. Uh, and make sure you take care of your family. Family is really important. But until then, we'll catch you guys later, and have a good one. Bye bye.